Hey everyone, I'm Nerd Queen Alexis and welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching the Siege of Vraks, which, if you don't know, was a Forge World Imperial Armor book made into, which debuted, actually didn't really debut. The Deathcore Creek existed prior to this, but this is the Imperial Armor book that really expanded upon their war and everything, and their origins and everything like that, where it was revealed that a lot of it was stolen from a World War I to World War II documentaries and got GW in a bit of hot water for copyright. If you don't know, there's a whole history on the Imperial Armor books and getting GW in trouble, and I highly recommend you look into that for yourself. If you can find it, please. I want to get all of that information so that I can post it as a video because I think it's hilarious. But the Siege of Vraks introduced the Deathcore Creek in their entirety with all of their horses, their trench warfare, their shovels, and just made them the cool little French soldiers that they are. So today we are taking a look at the Siege of Vraks made by Genovich. I think that's how you're gonna pronounce. I think that's how I pronounce it. I'm gonna put a link to this video in the description down below. But let's go ahead and take a look at this because this came highly recommended. It's completely unofficial. Okay, so all of these little intro things like this, where they're like, this is unofficial, this isn't related to Games Workshop product, Games Workshop can still sue the people that are making these. Because you are taking their intellectual property and profiting off of them. So just be careful with this, especially with GW being GW right now. So right away, we got 2 battle barges. That's really cool. Like that. Far sector. The 3 battle barges. Holy shit. Oh yeah, there was a lot of different Space Marines involved in the Siege of Vraks. I think even the Mantis Warriors were involved. Got some nice trench warfare. So yeah, this is the Kriegers. Which ultimately, trench warfare makes no sense in 40k. But I'll get into that. Nice little castle. Look at how cute it is. Castle Grayskull over here. Actually, it reminds me of the castle from Gargoyles. But apparently these aren't castles. These are 5-point defense structures that my one friend was telling me about. We got a nice sigil, which shows that this person has rank and office. It's an ecclesiarch with that type of sigil. That's actually pretty impressive. Okay. What's up? Repentia. Neat. Ooh, uh-oh. The Alpha Legion, which the fans make a lot cooler than the stories do. I'm sorry, the books for the Alpha Legion fucking suck. But the fan stuff is amazing for them. Like, GW can't write espionage for shit. Okay. Good shot, gives us scale and everything. Very, very, very dark, and I can barely tell what's happening. I know it's a trench network. Some type of weapon over in the corner. Give the old pew pew. Definitely known for their sneakiness, the Deathcore. he's dead. So they have auto guns. And the Deathcore Creek have these weird las guns. They're super cool because they're almost carbines. Also, las guns are not quiet at all. They sound like thunderbolts when they're shot. That's actually really cool, sending messages with flashlights. It's Morse code, so I think that's really cool. Got a Deathcore Commissar and a Command Officer, or a Field Marshal, and a Deathcore. God, there's so many Death armies in 40k. Getting ready to cross. Chaos Space Marines. The Death Corps charging on their horses. Ooh, Warhounds. Nice, a couple of them. Very good walking animations, too. Blood Effect could use a little work. Vraks. You know, that was incredibly well done for what that was. It didn't really establish too much, but it did establish enough of Vraks that I really enjoyed it. So let's take a couple of looks at a couple of these scenes here, if they want to work with me. So we got him as an ecclesiarchal member. Kind of looks like a preacher, if not a missionary. It's actually interesting. What are other interesting scenes that we got? The Alpha Legion here doing some type of ritual. I actually completely forgot the Alpha Legion was involved in Vraks, but that's just me. We got these nice establishing shots, which I really like, where you get to see that Death Corps like are well entrenched military experts when it comes to this, which is a World War I style of warfare. Let's see. Got some cultists that they're fighting. The voice acting could use a little bit touching up, but nothing too like critical. Like, I don't think that they did a bad job. I think it just needed a little bit more oomph behind it, if that makes sense. And I want to get to those officers. Those officers are really cool. Where were those officers? There's the Commissar. So it'd have to be right around the Commissar. Yeah, there he is. So I think this is a field marshal and a commissariat. I'm assuming this is actually a full commissar and not a commissar in training. I forget what those are called. But there's actually a rank before commissar that's actually a commissar in training. Really adorable. Funny thing that a lot of people get wrong is commissars actually can't issue too many orders. They sit outside the commandery as a disciplinary officer, and they're more like counseling than actually giving orders. But they can give orders to guardsmen so long as it doesn't counter the orders given to them by a superior officer. So more than likely in this scene right here, he was checking if the morale was good enough for them to make this charge. And they came to the conclusion that it was. So then we get the Alpha Legion and some type of heavier weapon here. It looks like a heavy stubber. I don't understand why he's lifting his hand to his head when the Vox casters are built into the helmets, but you know what? Sure. I can dig it. I can dig it. We got the drop pods coming in. Such a nice scene. Now, a lot of people don't know that drop pods don't actually hit the ground at full velocity. Like, a lot of people think, oh, drop pods coming in, they crash into the ground, and if there was a human inside, they would die. And it's like, no, actually, the human would be perfectly fine. In fact, humans use drop pods even in 9th edition. Inquisitors and acolytes can use them. But how a drop pod works is when it comes screaming down to the ground, about 100 feet or so before the ground, it activates its retro thrusters and slows itself down. So it still hits with the force of like a car accident. But on the inside, you have gravitational fields. And it actually lessens the effects on the Marines inside, the sisters inside, or any of the Imperial officers on the inside of the drop pod itself. Is it still a rough landing? Absolutely. But is it catastrophic, going to kill you no matter what? No. And you may read books where they say that it would kill them. It's more like they believe it would kill them versus would it actually kill them, because we do know that drop pods are used quite frequently by humans. In fact, one of my current favorite books has a not a favorite book, it's a favorite army set. It is the Iron. Oh my God, what are they called? What is the rogue trader called? What is her name? Star Striders. They use drop pods. Although they are one-man drop pods that crash into the ground. But they do have drop pods that they use. But right here, we do get to see the Armageddon pattern Lehman Russes, which I do like, as they have these little things at the back, which prevent them from, like, blowing themselves up. What? Chaos faction. Okay, so these are just Khorne Berserkers. They almost look a little bit, yeah. Like, they don't look bad. It's just they don't. I didn't think they were Khorne Berserkers at the beginning. So those are. What's weird is they just have the Khorne symbol on their shoulder. I don't know which. They're not Berserkers. Sorry, Chaos Space Marines, but they just have the Khorne symbol on them. So I don't know what Legion or Warband this is supposed to be. And then we got the Warhound right here with the Plasma Blast Gun and the big old Burt Gun, which is a Vulcan Mega Bolter. And then you see another one in the background, and it looks like it has a Turbo Laser Destroyer or a Plasma Blast Gun. I don't know what its second weapon system is, but it's cool to see them just walk over the trenches and everything. And is that it? It does appear to be it. Okay. So now to grab my screenshot of this, because that is way too good of a screenshot not to grab. So Deathcore Krieg, let's give you some breakdowns of what they can do in the lore and everything. As I've said before, they are siege experts. They are really, really, really good at what well, they're not siege experts. They're entrenchment warfare experts. They are really good at taking a spot and holding it for God knows how long. They will hold it for like ever if needed. And they are very, very, very stubborn warriors. They will stay entrenched for years, if not decades, with barely any supplies and barely any reinforcements, and they will hold the lines as long as they can. But the Death Corps also have kind of a suicidal creed where they will hold to the last, even if it means that they all die. So if they're given an order, they will follow that order until they are wiped out. So if you accidentally give them the order to charge into mass fire, they will do it, and they will all die. But that's what the cool thing about the Death Corps Krieg is. Also, they're all clones, which is kind of neat, because I guarantee that that idea was stolen from the Clone Wars, but that's just me, since, you know, it was a popular idea around the time. But it's really cool to see the Death Corps Krieg in all of their glory. Like, I love the gas masks that they do have. I do wish it was more sci-fi-esque and less World War I like designed. I do hate the Death Corps Krieg that GW released recently, because they are all just mono-posed, and I was really hoping for, you know, different posability in my Death Corps. And I'm going to be using them as Inquisitorial Acolytes, so I'm going to have one of them as an Acolyte. Overall, I think this animation is fantastic and sets up for future animations that this creator might do. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with all of this. So if you enjoyed this, please go and check out this video for yourself and tell me what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Norn Queen Alexis. I love you guys. Bye.